There's a lot of practicalities that come on staffing and budgeting for a new office if you want to enter a new market. And I should say that in some markets, cities are too big and you might need multiple locations to capture that big search share across that whole city. So if you're ranking over, let's say downtown, but not down south, there is a business case for that as well in a lot of cases. So if you're taking the multi-office strategy, what I recommend from a business and metric stack tracking standpoint, because I am a data nerd, is just put it under marketing in your P&L. Okay. So you want to be tracking that and saying, hey, look, marketing and advertising budget for this location and whatever else we decide to do, we're going to tie that and track it together. Because at the end of the day, if this effort is not resulting in the case fees that you need to really justify that return on investment, you need to be able to pull the plug. And while that hasn't really been a case that I've seen in many markets, I have seen it a couple times. So, you want to make sure that you plan and execute the right strategy, but also go all in on it. Don't just kind of like wait for it and like hope and pray one day for that business to come to you. You have to do some investment, whether time or money, to make sure that you have enough visibility there. So co-working spaces, so just a practicality. One of the strategies that we use and have used is co-working spaces if you're looking for a lower office rent. We've also just gone to Craigslist and looked for rooms for rent. And I'm going to talk about some of the like downsides to this as well, because there are some risks to different things. And I put one of the cons here. And the biggest one, if you're looking specifically to follow this strategy and open a Google business profile, you're going to need a unique address. So that might be a suite number. You're going to need a phone number. You're going to need signage, because what does happen, whether right or wrong, sometimes people are going out and reporting your business. And if you get that listing penalized, you might have to do a video verification. They're going to want to see signage. It used to be that they would just look at the business licenses, but that has since moved on. So, but you also want to be in the Google recognized city limit. I think that one's really important, because if you go to maps or google.com/maps and you type in your city name and your state, what we'll do is it'll do a red outline around the city where it thinks the city limits are. And in some cases, what do we see? We see somebody with like a Denver address, for example, because I see this in Denver all the time. It says Denver, but it's not recognized by Google as being in Denver. So you've already eliminated your possibility of being able to rank within that city in like 9 out of 10 cases. So, you just little things like this, those nuances kind of put you ahead of everybody else. You can really say, hey, where should I focus on this? And then additionally, I would do a search in those cities and see who is doing really well and see if there's a cluster of offices. Because typically what you see is kind of a triangle of offices or within, on the map. And you'll say, hey, look, Google seems to really prioritize this area across the city when I'm searching. And that says, okay, well, maybe that's where I should look for an office.